Hello, Glamour Ghouls. This is Magical Hair. It is me, your ghost host, Sid. Today we're going to be talking about 5 ways to become a fully booked hairstylist or service provider. I would imagine that tattoo artists and estheticians would be able to use this outline as well. Just to kind of explain the situation, I am a hairstylist in Omaha, Nebraska. I am not from Omaha, actually. I am from Dallas, Texas. So this is a video on how I became fully booked. I only have 2 years of hair experience, and I moved to a city where I knew absolutely nobody. So if I can do it, you can do it for sure. Like I said, I only have about 2 years of hair experience. So whenever I started doing hair here in Omaha, I knew pretty much nobody. I don't have any family here, and I also had very little hair experience. Okay, so for the first one this was whenever I first started doing hair, and I was still learning how to do stuff and still learning how to do hair. So I gave complimentary, and I would say complimentary instead of free because it just sounds more like luxurious. So I would give away complimentary services, and you don't have to give away like the entire service. Let's say you could do highlights, but you give them a complimentary haircut just because you're new, you're building your clientele, you're trying to build your portfolio. So basically what I would do is I would give away a complimentary service, either just a free haircut, or I would do like a chemical service like color or something, and I would add on like a free haircut or like a free deep conditioning treatment or something. But instead of saying free, you want to say complimentary, because again, it just sounds better. But basically what I would do is I would try to get something out of the client. I would try to get either like a Google review. I would try to pre-book them. I would try to get content from them. I would try to get a recommendation from them. And if I couldn't get any of those things, then I would be like, at least I got practice. What would I do differently next time? Whenever you bring these people in, you could say something along the lines of like, okay, I would be happy to add on a complimentary haircut with you today. In return, I would love it if you left me a Google review, because Google reviews go a long way, and you want to tell them to specifically say your name. So you don't want them to just be like, got a haircut done here, it was awesome, because then that could just mean anybody. You want them to specifically say your name. So they could be like, I got a haircut done by Sid, it was absolutely amazing, blah, 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 blah. And then people online will read that because they're gonna trust the Google reviews from a stranger that they don't know, because, I mean, I do personally. I don't know how other people feel. And then they're gonna come to you. I have gotten so many clients from not even social media. I've gotten a lot of clients because they're like, oh, I was reading Google reviews and I saw your name pop up a lot and I wanted to try you out. So that's something that I did a lot, was I would ask them to specifically say my name, and I would even send them a link to like the salon that I worked at and like the Google review link. And then the next thing that I would do is I would pre-book. We're gonna go more into pre-booking later because I want to go a little bit more in depth in that. And then I would also try to create content. Again, that's going to be another step, so I'm going to kind of go more into that. I would try to get a recommendation out of them. I've actually gotten tons of recommendations. Whenever you get people in, if they really like their haircut, they'll recommend like their aunt, their mom, their siblings. I've gotten so many like sisters or something, or boyfriends of people who have done like a free service on them, and then they recommend to me, and then that just will slowly build. And then the last thing, if I can't get any of that out of them, which is kind of rare, I could at least get practice, because it's complimentary, it's free. So if you don't do the best job, they can't really get that upset because it was free. And also, whenever you're doing stuff like that, they know that you're learning, because hair, and I'm sure like tattooing or aesthetic work or whatever, it's hard. I don't think people realize how difficult it is, especially with everybody having such different like hair or skin or whatever. It takes a lot of practice, and whenever you do something complimentary, it kind of takes a lot off that weight of perfecting it, and more just kind of getting your hands in their hair and just figuring stuff out. Okay, so the second thing that I'm going to talk about is posting content. People want to see your work. If you wanted to get a tattoo, me personally, I want to know like the tattooer's blood type. I want to know their social security number. You know what I mean? So personally, I would really like to see their work, and especially not every client is going to be yours, because hairstylist, tattoo artist, whatever, they have a specific style, and that's going to gravitate certain people. So clients will want to see your work and be like, oh, I really like this stylist style. It's very similar to mine. Let me check them out. And they kind of want to know a little bit about you and like your work. Another thing about social media is I'll have clients who only get their hair cut once a year, maybe more than that. And if I'm constantly popping up on their feed, they're constantly reminded, oh, let me go get a haircut done by Sydney. That's happened so many times. I had one girl where I cut her hair when I first started doing hair, like literally knew how to do a one length haircut with like some layers. And it had been 2 years, she hadn't gone to anybody else, and I kept popping up on her social media, and then she came back 2 years later, and I did her hair again, and then she pre-booked with me a color. You just never know. And if you just pop up on people's social media, you'll constantly be in their mind. Part of posting on social media, it kind of shows them a little bit about your personality. And like, my clients are very well aware that I am very goofy. I am not a super serious person. And that's the kind of clients that I attract, because I cannot take clients who are super serious. It gives me so much anxiety. But you know what? Another stylist might be great for them because that's their vibe, and that's okay. So again, it's just kind of attracting the people that are meant for you. Okay, so the next one is pre-booking. This one is one of the most important things, because you can get people in your chair, but can you keep them? That's kind of the big thing, because let's say you work at a salon, you had this client come in, they only get their hair done once a year. Let's say I just did such a good job, blah, blah, blah. They loved their hair. I didn't pre-book them because I was like, oh, they'll come back, they'll know who I am, blah, blah, blah. No. What if they remembered the salon that they came to, but they forgot what your name was and they just clicked whoever, and then that stylist pre-booked them, and then now it's that client, or it's now that stylist client forever. So pre-booking is really a key to becoming fully booked, and there's a little bit of an art to it. So I'm gonna kind of go into that. With pre-booking, whenever you get to some places have a receptionist. I personally, the salon that I work at, we don't have a receptionist. So if you have a receptionist, I don't know how this would work for you, but anyway. So with pre-booking, you don't want to be like, do you want to book your next appointment? No. You're leaving the question open. They're most likely gonna be like, oh, I'll do it like whenever. No. What you want to do is, the average I do is about 8 weeks for haircuts. So let's say we're in January right now, so that would put us in end of March, early April, something like that. So it'd be like, okay, that puts us at March 17th, which is a Tuesday. Do Tuesdays typically work for you? If they say yes, cool. Then if they say no, then you could say something along the lines of, okay, is there a specific time of day or day of the week that works best for you? Which is the week of March 17th. And they'll be like, oh, well, Thursday might work for me that day. I'll be like, cool, does the same time, like 3 o'clock work for you? Yeah, and then you can book them then. Do not leave the question open. If they really don't want to pre-book with you right then and there, they'll just tell you, but don't ask, would you like to book your next appointment? No, get that out of your vocabulary. Again, you want to just set it up for them, make it easier. I usually have it on my phone so I can, and I do it really, you'll get used to it, but you'll start to do it really fast, and I'll look and I'll be like, okay, it looks like March 17th at 3 o'clock. Does the same time work for you? Da 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 da. And they'll say yes or no, and then you can pre-book. And that is how I got my books filled up super, super fast. And if they seem kind of like hesitant, like, oh, I don't know, I'll be like, you know what? How about we go ahead and book you, and if that time doesn't work, you can go ahead and reschedule online later. And they'll be like, oh, okay. Just, again, do you want to book your next appointment out of your vocabulary? Please, I'm begging you. The next thing is being personable. This one is a big one for me. I personally have built a very specific clientele, kind of like what I was talking about earlier, where people have similar personalities and interests as you. I have a very specific personality type with my clientele. They're very goofy. We obviously like a lot of the same things, and it makes me build like a really deep relationship with my clients. Obviously, genuinely care for them. And it makes me enjoy coming to work every single day because I'm like, oh my gosh, I get to hang out with this client. I get to catch up on what happened on that really weird date that they were about to go on, or like I get to hear about their vacation, just being personable. And this is kind of something that comes a little bit more naturally for me because I'm a chatty Cathy and I love to just chit chat with people. If that's not really your strong suit, that's okay. Maybe you'll start to attract people who, again, have a similar personality type than you. I know some people love having more like silent appointments, and I do have some clients who just don't like to talk while they're getting their hair done, and that's okay. So maybe you'll just attract more people like that. And if somebody just like wants to chit chat the whole time and that's just not really who you are, that's totally okay. They'll go to a stylist who just loves to talk. And again, not every client who sits in your chair is going to be meant for you, and that's totally fine. It doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make your client a bad person. Everybody just kind of has their own vibe, and they'll find a stylist for them, and you'll find great clients for you. Okay, so number 5, if I have a gap in my schedule, I will either post constantly like, hey, I have this time available. Does anybody want it? I'll add the link into the post so that they can just click. It makes it less work for them, so they're more likely to book then. Or another thing that I'll do is if it's like last minute, like there have been times where I've gone into work and I have like a 4-hour color service that didn't show up or something, so it's like super last minute. What I will do is I will go through my books in the last 3, 6, 9, 12 months, and I'll look up people who haven't been in a while, and I'll message them. And again, you don't want to leave it open like, hey, do you want to book? I have an opening today. No. I would say something, let's say, hey Sam, this is Grey House Salon. We see you haven't been in a while. Sydney has some availability today. Here's the link to book, and then send the link. Don't ask, would you like to book? Just kind of send it to that, and if they want to book, they will. And I have gotten so many clients last minute and then was able to pre-book them or sometimes clients that are more, I call them whimsy clients who just don't really keep up a schedule, 1, because like that's just their personality type, or 2, they have a job that is constantly changing, like often like nursing or something like that, and they like that we reach out to them and remind them, hey, it's time for a haircut. So I do have a few clients that like that, and I will message them every few months and be like, hey, I have some availability. If you want a last minute haircut, come in. And I've been able to fill my books up that day. It takes work to do this, but I promise you it will pay off. Again, I have only been doing hair for a little over 2 years now. I knew absolutely nobody in Omaha, and I was able to become a fully booked hairstylist. I was working 2 jobs as a waitress and doing hair for a long time, and then I just kept doing this and working at it, and now I only do hair and I no longer have to work my serving job. I promise you this works. If you guys like this video, let me know and I would very gladly make another one. And I hope you guys have an awesome day and wish you the best of luck becoming a fully booked stylist. Have a good one, guys.